Welcome back to another episode of Those Two Girls. Funny story, actually, this is our second time recording.
Oh, goodness.
In 2 days because we finished recording the podcast episode and I realized that I have a huge lipstick stain on my chin. So I call Val and I'm like, did you see that I had a huge lipstick stain on my chin? And you know, for me, that's like the end of the world. Like, we cannot post this podcast episode. And so I asked my husband, because he films it for us, to check. Thank God I did, because I was blurry the entire podcast episode. My video was blurry, and of course I call you in like a full
frantic panic. You were so upset. I was like, oh my gosh, where's this leading? Divorce. Like, what's gonna happen now? But you know what? Some things in life are just meant to be. Yeah. And the bigger reason is not known until later. And we just found out the lipstick thing. Also, I had like a bra strap hanging out half the episode. So you know what?
We were a mess.
It's okay.
This is a redo.
It was just a little run through practice rehearsal. Exactly.
Love it. I love it.
So how was your weekend? What'd you do?
It was good. Okay, so I actually hosted Saturday and Sunday. I feel like I'm in my hosting era.
Oh my gosh, is this your hosting era?
Yes! Which I was going to tell you. We need to have you and AJ over for dinner.
I'm so excited to get hosted.
I love hosting, but I was going to say, I feel like I have turned into my mother, where it's like, I'm so aware of what everyone's doing now. Like, if they're using a cup and it's not on a coaster, I like go and I like move it on there. If someone's eating and they don't have a placemat, I'll just like lift their plate up and I'm like, here you go, let me just do this for you.
No, for sure. Actually, the last 2 times she's been telling me to take off my shoes at the door. This is like a new era. It's a hosting era.
It's a hosting
it comes with the territory.
Era. Also, I feel like shoes are so dirty. Like, you're stepping
you never
on...
know as a host when you're gonna host next. So what if, you know, it's like you can't have a dirty house.
I can't have a dirty house, and I can't be vacuuming and mopping every fucking day.
Drop of a dime, you're hosting.
Exactly. You never know. But yeah, I've definitely turned into my mom, but I love it. I love hosting. I know, Layla. Love it. How was your weekend?
It was good. AJ and I went to a wedding. It was super nice on Saturday. It was just that they got like an Airbnb. It was a really cute thing. I do want to say, though, on the way over, oh my God, I just remembered this. This was so bad. I'm so sorry if you guys, the couple, is watching this at all. But we were listening to different songs, you know, and it was like a 90s playlist or whatever. And the song by Alanis Morissette, it's like rain.
Yes.
You know, and I'm like screaming it at the top of my lungs. And I turn it off and I'm like, oh my God, I just jinxed their wedding. And I'm like, it's going to pour. And it did.
Stop.
And it did. It was pouring so bad, and I'm like, sorry guys.
You're like, that was my fault. I was blasting Alanis Morissette. I'm so sorry.
You don't play that song on someone's wedding day is all I'm saying. But it did come up like on random. It's not like I chose it.
No, you didn't choose it. It was meant to be. Okay, the whole thing of like, if it rains on your wedding day, it's good luck. Someone said that to help a bride stop crying in front and having like a full-blown panic attack. Like, no, it's like, oh, if a bird shits on you.
I was just going to say, like, when a bird shits on you, it's like, you know what I mean?
If you get hit by a truck, it's good luck.
Good luck. So it didn't ruin your day.
Yeah.
But I was going to say, though, something that I feel should be mentioned is when I met the bride. Okay, this is the thing. So the groom is one of AJ's employees, right?
Yes.
So, and I've gone to visit AJ at work, you know, so they all know me as like the wife, his wife,
yeah.
You know. But in a situation like that, it's like hard to, you know, realize that there's only like one of you and there's like a million of them.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know who's who, you know? It's like they get lost in the abyss.
Right.
For me. Like, no offense. Like, I try, but there's like a lot of them and there's one of me, you know?
You can't keep up with it.
Right. So I guess I already met the freaking bride.
Oh, no, I hate when that happens.
Word it the right way. You say, hi, so good to see you. And I told AJ, I'm like, every single time I'm around your people from here on out, I will say see you instead of meet you.
You have to.
Because tell me how. I'm like, oh my gosh, so good to meet you. You look amazing. And her and the groom at the same time are like, you guys met? We met already. You guys met.
Qué pena.
You could have just drowned me in the pool.
No,
the outside pool. Like,
I
hate that so bad. So just say see you.
That's actually a really good tip because I feel like I've done that before. I'm like, oh, it's so good to meet you. And then people are like, we've met. Oh. And then I feel like they automatically like don't like you because when people do that to me and I'm like, bitch, please, you know we've met. You know me. And then I'm just
I know.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, really? Like, you're that cool or you didn't remember me? No, oh my God, no. Sure. But that's a good tip. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Okay, guys. So I think we're going to start a new kind of, not segment, but a new, how would you say it?
Like just an order.
An order, yes, of topics. Our podcast. Yes, of topics. I think we want to start each podcast by saying like a tip of the day or like not even just like a fun fact, but something that brings awareness to something, whether it's like mental health or like women's health or just something that could benefit our listeners and viewers. Exactly. Something educational. It could be funny, could be serious. I don't know, but something educational. I want to talk about friendships today too, and just like the different types of friends, the different levels of friendships, and kind of get into that because we both have like so much experience with like different types of friendships and stuff. Funny toxic traits, because I've been thinking about this all week and I just know I have so many and you probably do too. And then we'll get into like any type of celebrity or reality TV stuff. I think this week we're going to hit on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. And then I just saw something about another celebrity that I wanted to talk to you about too. So,
Okay, cool.
yeah, so let's do it.
ADHD?
ADHD. ADHD.
All right. So when it comes to ADHD, obviously I am just an expert because I am the poster child of ADHD. Like, I swear, I feel like if there was like a list of symptoms, I have them all kind of vibe. You know what I mean? So obviously I've just learned so much about it. And there's so many differences when it comes to genders. And whether that be like the gender role that someone's assumed to play in society, or maybe we're just raised differently. There's so many different characteristics when it comes to ADHD and how it's expressed in girls versus boys and women versus men. And I feel like it's really important to kind of, you know, educate or even be aware of it, because a lot of times the female counterpart in all this gets unnoticed with these symptoms because it's a more docile version of them. So for example, like when you're a child, obviously it's so easy to point out which boy has ADHD because they're loud, they're disruptive. But since girls, their symptoms are more so daydreaming. It's more about, you know, not being able to really focus on things. And since they're not causing a disruption towards other people, they go unnoticed and under the table. So then you end up just going through life. And I did want to point out the fact that I feel ADHD, a lot of us are now noticing that we have it later on in life. And I think it's just because of all the pressures that come with just getting older, all these responsibilities. Whereas when you're a child, you do have your parents there kind of like guiding you.
Yeah.
And school is set up in such a structured way that everyone's doing the same exact thing.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like once you're out in the world and you have like this free range to do whatever the hell you want, that's when you realize you're kind of off, or like, you know, why am I not excelling as easily as others and things like that.
Yeah.
You know, and even when it comes to symptoms in general, I feel like it's, oh, yeah, you know, I lost my keys, or like, oh, I can't remember, I can't focus. But it's so much more than that. ADHD is so tied in with emotional dysregularity and not being able to fully regulate your emotions as easily as other people. And when it comes to men, again, their symptoms are going to be more anger, frustration, things like that. And women, it's going to be more sadness, anxiety, different things. And then women, when they seek help for these things, they end up just treating the underlying symptoms, maybe with antidepressants.
Yes.
Maybe benzos, whatever it is for the anxiety, instead of treating the actual ADHD itself that's causing these symptoms on the side.
No, that's so interesting. I would have never thought about that, because growing up, it's so easy, like you said, to spot the little boys who have it because they're so hyper, and it's like they can't sit still, they're disruptive, they're always talking too much in school, or they're just like not focusing. You think of ADHD and you just think like focus. I mean, that's what I thought. I'm like, oh, you can't focus, you have ADHD, or you have ADD. So, okay. Difference between ADD and ADHD, because I feel like they get interchanged a lot, but like what is the clear difference between ADD and ADHD?
The letter H, which is the hyperactivity part of it, where, you know, there's actually 7 different types. Which we can do
of ADHD? Oh shit. Okay, no,
and like ADD, ADHD, but there's 7 different subtypes. Okay. And I feel like we should go over that like maybe like in another episode.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Because it's a lot. Like there's definitely different types, and there's some that are like more like the hyperactive, and like that's how it's shown. Yeah. But in reality, even when people say like, oh, you know, you have ADHD or like ADD, you can't focus, or like I can't focus or whatever, that's not true. It's just the fact that people with ADHD or ADD are focusing on too many things at once.
So they're scatter-minded.
It's so scattered. It's like almost overstimulation. Do you know what I'm saying? So people are like, oh, you can't be... No, it's like there's too much going on. Put that person with ADHD in like a position where it's like life or death. follow them. They will know what to do because they have like razor sharp concentration.
Yeah.
But they need that amygdala stimulation, like that fight or flight response to fully hone in. That's why what happens? We procrastinate until the very last second where we feel that pressure, and then boom we get it done right away. We pass the test. We don't sleep at night. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's
you
wild.
need to be in a position where it's like this is your only option and there's nothing else around you distracting you, and it's like it's now or never type thing. We met up, when was it, last weekend, to just like edit some clips for the podcast and stuff. And I feel like you've always mentioned to me in the past that you'll like start one clip and then like you start cleaning your house, or like you go to the mall and then you're like, oh shit, the clip, and then you go back to editing clip again. It's So then we sat down and I was like, you know what, let's meet up and we'll have a working session. So we meet up at this coffee shop. Nothing else to do. This girl, I make 2 clips, by the way, and I don't have ADHD. Like, I'm actually a very focused person. I'm very structured. Like, I can sit down and I can focus on something. This girl throws out like 7 clips in like an hour. She's like, I just made 7 because she had nothing else to do, because I put my headphones in and I'm like, I'm not talking to her, because if we start talking, we'll be talking forever. So like, that's it. I'm putting my headphones in and I'm editing. Dude, you in like an hour or 2, that's it. You knocked off like a week's worth. It's insane.
No, it's absolutely crazy.
It's insane. But I love that we're talking about this because like you said, I feel like people associate ADHD with like how boys are diagnosed with it, but like women could have this, but they're diagnosed with anxiety, depression. And I think for a lot of women listening to this right now, they're probably like, wait, do I actually have ADHD, but I'm just being diagnosed as I'm depressed or have anxiety? Which, yes, of course, you can have that, but you may also have ADHD, so.
For sure. I mean, at the end of the day, ADHD is completely tied in with dopamine, period. Low dopamine, and dopamine is what runs the city. Yeah. Honestly, that's what makes us feel like we accomplished our goals. That's what gives us pride. That's what gives us motivation. Yeah. You know, because if we don't feel like something is worth our energy, why are we going to do it? No, 1,000%. So when you are already like low dopamine and it's like, oh, making your bed, and you don't see any reward to it, it's so hard to get yourself to do it. So that's why ADHD is just literally chronic dopamine chasers. Yeah. That's what we want.
No, that makes total sense. And isn't there a correlation of PMDD and ADHD? Like a certain amount of women who have PMDD actually have ADHD as well?
Yes, it is. And that all, you know, it's neurodivergent brains in general. So whether that be ADHD or autism, PMDD, which is premenstrual dysphoric disorder, it's a lot more prevalent in people that are neurodivergent than neurotypical. Yeah. It's like 46% in women that have ADHD and 92% in women that have autism. So not only are you dealing with just like the symptoms of ADHD, the hormones that we, you know, produce every month because we're females also do not interact very well. Estrogen and dopamine are perfectly tied in together. So at the end of the phase, when the luteal phase happens and the estrogen plummets, the dopamine does too. So that's another episode.
I love that. Yeah, I was gonna say explain the luteal phase, but I feel like that's a whole other topic, especially PMDD, because we hit on it in one of our podcast episodes. But I feel like I want to get into it deeper because, again, something else that a lot of women probably experience, but they don't know that they have it.
Oh, totally.
But this is so interesting. I love that, and I feel like it's so educational. I never even I don't have ADHD, so I don't even think of this kind of stuff. But I love it.
Super interesting.
So interesting. Okay, I want to get into friendships and I have notes here, but like different types of friends. Those one-upper friends. The friends who always have to one-up you. Do you know what I mean? You'll be like, oh, I went to Italy last summer for like a week with my family and it was amazing. And like, oh, well, I used to live in Italy, even though they never fucking lived in Italy. I had a friend like that once, and it was, but Valerie, everything I would say, I would be like, oh my God, me and my husband had like a date night, or look, no, and this actually happened. My husband surprised me with flowers the other day. He's so sweet. And she'll be like, oh, well, my boyfriend, literally these words came out of her mouth, does it better, and he's a better boyfriend because not only does he brings me flowers, but he brings me a little basket with blankets and treats and blah, blah, and all this shit.
Wait, this is a true story?
No, this is a real friend that I used to have.
You just made this up.
No, I couldn't, and I feel like I'm even like painting her in a good light.
Wait, and did you respond like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize we were in competition?
All the time, I would be like, it's not a competition, or I'd
what?
be like,
I wasn't talking about you.
Or I just wouldn't even literally, or I wouldn't even respond. This same person, and I fucked up here. Be careful how much information you share with certain friends. Because I would share maybe that me and Alexander got into an argument, right?
Oh, yeah. No.
Dude, every single other time, like, if we'd get in, or if she would see us and we'd be bickering, which couples bicker, I'd be like, babe, don't do that. Da-da-da. She'd be like, oh, you guys really fight a lot. Like, that's not healthy. Like, you guys are always fighting. And I'm like,
oh,
this is none of your fucking business. Like, are you kidding? So just FYI, girlies, make sure you're sharing. If you and your husband have a fight or like personal things in life, don't share it with every friend. Because not everyone has good intentions and they'll use it against you later on.
I know, that's true. I feel like with friends, I don't know though, because like a person like that, I feel like I couldn't be friends with, period.
Well, I'm not
And I
anymore.
feel like I've met people.
You know who I'm talking about, but
I
I'm not.
do, but I thought you were talking about someone else that you were friends with for a very long time that I always felt like, oh my God, everything's like a competition or like a know-it-all. You have a couple of those like that. I'm like, I just like, for some reason, know-it-alls to me are like the bane of my existence.
Ugh,
like people that just like have
know-it-all.
to, like, it could be literally someone telling like, oh my gosh, just one time I went on a trip and I saw these giant turtles and we were told how these turtles live 180. They're like, actually, they live 500 years if you feed them the right diet. Like, get out of here.
Yeah.
Like, they think they know everything.
I hate
and they
that too.
speak with conviction.
Such conviction.
Like, just shut up.
I hate a know-it-all.
drives
But there's
me
like
nuts.
different types of know-it-alls. There's the know-it-alls who full on act like a know-it-all and they're like, actually, like the snarky ones. And then I feel like there's know-it-alls who try to be know-it-alls to kind of fit in, and they feel like that's what people want to hear because they're like socially awkward. Do you know what I'm saying?
It yells insecurity to me, period.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You have to be knowledgeable. Like, who are you trying to impress here?
No, 1000%.
Like, I see right through you. But before what you were talking about, like the friend with the competition, first of all, my mom has always, and not necessarily with friends though, because if you're going to be worried about, I feel like telling some, like your business to friends and being judged, and that's not like a close friend.
Exactly.
You know? So maybe that's just an acquaintance, keep them in that box. But when it comes to people you don't really know and acquaintances, my mom has always told me, do not tell them your business and do not wash your dirty laundry at other people's houses because 80% of people are literally, they don't give a shit. They don't give a shit about your problems. And the other 20% are happy that you have them.
Exactly.
So don't, just don't.
No, it's so true. And that brings me to another thing that I wanted to talk about. There could be different, and I feel like this took me a while to realize because when I was younger in high school or in like early 20s, I put all of my friends in the same category. You know what I mean? Like everyone was my close best friend. Everyone was my number one best friend. Everyone was my BFF. So I held them all to these very high standards. As I got older, I realized that some of those friends aren't reciprocating the same energy and the same effort into the friendship. So they're not in that high bucket as some of my other friends. And then B, not every one of your friends has to be your super close BFF. There are different buckets, right? Like there's those buckets of friends where it's like, these are my sisters. This is my family. I could tell them absolutely everything. And I know like they're a vault. They would never judge me. I could say, oh my God, this happened. Like they wouldn't judge me. Then there's other friends that it's like I was saying, you got to be a little bit more careful. Like they're great, maybe friends who are uplifting, right? And they'll like lift you up in the moment and you have fun with them. But there's a line that you shouldn't cross with them because if you do cross that line with them, like for instance, a friend that I was saying that like I said, oh my God, we got in a fight or like this is what happened and then constantly used it against me.
Right.
Not every friend has to know, like just what you were saying, has to know your dirty laundry. Like, and just, I learned the hard way of who those friends were. And like most of those friends, to be honest, like I think I'm lucky now that I think all of my friends that I have, like I can tell them that and they would never hold it against me. But I had to weed those out. Like I'm not friends with those other girls that you can't trust in.
No, 100%. And I think that, I know that you spoke about it in the past, like that you realized, like, you know, that they weren't reciprocating the same energy. And that's exactly it. It's like, you know, you water the plant, and if you stop watering it, is it still going to live? And that's when you kind of realize, because I feel like I've definitely experienced that in my life. I feel like there's been friendships that I've given my all to, and I've just always been there for them. And like, if they're in a breakup, I act like it's like a breakup, like with me, make sure they're okay, like give them everything. And then kind of like, let's say they move away or something, it's kind of like out of sight, out of mind. Like if I'm not calling them, if I'm not making that effort, they're not reciprocating that. And that's when you realize it's like, it's one-sided.
Totally.
So I get very resentful. Yeah. And so that's why I feel like moving forward in my friendships, I like to like see them lighter, you
Yeah.
know, like in a lighter way. Just kind of like, let's have fun. Like, let's have a good time.
Exactly. And I had that issue too, where it's like I would get sad and depressed and just so angry and resentful, and I'd be like, why the fuck aren't you putting in the same effort that I'm putting in? And I would always be mad at them until I realized, like, okay, you know what? If you're putting in 20%, that's what I'm gonna put in.
Right.
So don't be all weird when you're realizing, oh shit, why isn't Leanne putting in 100% anymore? It's because, like, if you're not matching my energy, I'm not gonna match yours. Also, another thing with friendships too is like the boundaries. There are some friends who like don't respect those boundaries as well, and that's super important. Like, make sure you find friends who respect boundaries.
Yeah.
Because they could just like walk all over them. Or the friends that you meet up with, and instead of like recharging your battery, they deplete it, they drain it, and you leave there always feeling like never good, and you're like, why am I friends with this person?
Oh my God, the negatives.
Or just like the judge or the jealous ones. Like, you've definitely experienced that, right? Like they're jealous of you, and it's like no matter what you do, like they just will never. Oh my God, or the friends that never compliment you.
Okay, yeah.
That'll
For sure. That's happened.
I hate that. Like, just compliment your friends. Everyone wants to be complimented.
Yeah, no, I hate that. But like, I feel the thing is though, I did get to go away and meet a new set of friends. I don't know. I feel like you've lucked out a lot, like, you know, with the group of friends. But I feel like with me, it was nice to like meet new people in my adult years that didn't know me from my past, because I feel like it was just, I don't know how to explain it. I just didn't feel judged. I feel like they were just getting to know who I have evolved into instead of judging me also based on what I've done in the past. They don't know about that. So now it's like you get to be this new person, this evolved person that like is just more mature, you know? And when you feel more mature, I think you're able to just really appreciate your friendships a lot more.
I agree. And that's a good point, because I feel like that's important. Like, if your friend, because I've gone through that period where it's like maybe I was like a shit friend during that time, or I was acting crazy, or I was just not being a good person, or I wasn't being the best version of myself. Give your friends grace during that period too. Like, don't just flat out drop a person like that. Like, make sure you're giving them grace, and you're like, okay, like, why is Val acting this way, or why is like this person acting this way? Like, are you okay? If there's anything I can do. Obviously, if they never change and they're just like their baseline, this is their baseline, they're just a shit person, then like, okay, maybe you should kind of reevaluate what the fuck is going on there. But like, if a person's just going through some shit, they need their friends' support. So like, don't just drop them in that moment, because I feel like I know a lot of people who do that. It's like, oh, she's just being annoying, and like, and I don't want to be friends with her anymore. But like, if you've tried for like a year and this friend is just not getting better, then it's like, okay, distance yourself from that person, but be there with your friends while they're evolving.
For sure. And check in on them.
Check in on them. Make sure they're okay.
Yeah, don't write it off as like, oh, they don't want to talk to me.
Yeah.
Maybe check in and make sure that they're okay first.
Exactly. 1000%. And then also, I'm the type of friend that I don't necessarily need to talk to you every day to know that we're good friends and we're solid and our friendship is good. But then on the flip side, I know like some friends like, or some people need that constant communication and just like texting, or the seeing their friends in person often to feel like they're close to those people. Like, do you have friends like that? Have you experienced like miscommunication with it, or it's like, have you called them out and been like, why aren't you texting me, or like blah blah blah?
Well, for sure, I definitely love the interaction with friends, but it's really only because I feel if you're gonna go through life and have all these experiences and maybe you're not together, you're like apart, like let's say, you know,
another state or something.
Correct. So if you're going to go through all these life experiences and not share them, like even just like, hey, just so you know, I got a cat. It's like, what's the point?
1000%.
You
no,
know?
and I think that is important. If I'm like, hey, I got engaged, but I'm not reaching out to my friends to tell them I got engaged, or like big moments like, oh, I just got like my dream job, or I just got a good job.
Exactly. Like, I don't need to know that your like bowel movements are regular. Like I just want to, but I want to know that you're engaged, or like before you post it on social media, because that just, to me, that affirms the closeness. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And maybe that's stupid, but I think like in general, like I feel like I've come such a long way where like everyone has their own thing going on. Everyone's an adult. We don't need to be attached at the hip. We all have our own lives going on. But I think it's really important to still keep that closeness. Like,
yeah.
It's almost like exclusivity. You know what I mean? Like, it's like you're only going to tell certain people, like my mom. Like, I think of like, my mom is my number one best friend in the world. So it's like the things I tell her, it's like there's only a handful of friends that I'm going to also tell those things to. And those handful of friends, I hope, see me the same way.
Yeah,
you know?
1000%. That's such a good point, especially for friends who don't live like close to you, so you can't see all the time. I had an experience where it's like, since I don't have to talk to you 24/7, thought that one of my best friends was still my best friend, but we maybe haven't spoken or like we would talk here and there, but not as much as we used to. But in her eyes, she thought that we weren't close anymore and we weren't best friends anymore. And so then we like meet up one day and it's like she drops on me that we're just not as close anymore. And I'm like, wait, what? I'm sorry I've been busy and like I haven't been as attentive in my friendships, but that doesn't mean that you're still not one of my best friends. And I got kind of butthurt by that because it's like, that's fine if you need that, if you need to see me more often or talk to me more often, but that's not fair that you didn't communicate that with 100%. Me because now I'm blindsided and I'm over here thinking that the whole time you're still one of my closest, dearest friends. But in your mind, like what, I'm like chopped liver now because we don't see each other all the time?
Well, I think people need, like we were just saying, need different things in relationships, you know? But if you're not going to be clear about what you expect, then don't be upset when I'm not meeting what you expect from me.
Yeah.
I feel like in that situation, I definitely would tell you, like, hey, like, is everything okay? Like,
haven't talked to you.
We're not as close as we used to be. And that's right away. You'd be like, wait, what? Like, what are you talking? And that's squashed.
Exactly. 1000%. So communication is key, ladies. It's just like a marriage or any relationship, like friendships.
But I feel like you and I are just like very non-filtered, blunt, open.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas people struggle with that. And people internalize so much that I could never. I don't know how.
Yeah.
I never.
Yes.
I have to bitch you out or something. Like, I have to like say something.
Wait, and to that point, I will give this friend the benefit of the doubt because I'm not an easy, like if my friend is like an internalizer, but like I also feel like she was scared to tell me because I would be like, are you fucking kidding me? Like really? You're going to think that we're not close? And like, so I'm not saying to put it all on her because like I also had to reflect and say like, okay, well, why did she feel scared to bring it up to you? Obviously, she's scared of my reaction because I am a very intense person like that. So maybe like be a little kinder, hear her out, and just like don't think before you speak. Yeah. I've been working on that. I don't know how it's going, but
it's a life journey.
I
can speak from experience. I haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah. Okay, wait. I was thinking of something that happened to me. So whenever I post on Instagram, I have to text my sisters 7 options of pictures. And I'm like, wait, do you like this one, this one, this one, or this one? I already know which picture I like, right? But like, I want them to pick that. And they'll pick they'll pick other ones. And I'm like, wait, really? That one? Like, wait, but look again. Like, but Annette, like, really look at my smile in that second picture. And she's like, Lan, I told you that I like the one that I like.
No,
like,
this sounds more like a guessing game than like than a helping, than an advice column. Like literally, you're like, guess which one I want you to say. That's what I hear right now.
You're so right. But anyway, I was thinking of like toxic traits, and I'm like, that is such a toxic, like, fucking trait of just, like, I'm just testing people. Like, what's wrong with me?
Yeah, I play this game every day with my husband.
Yes.
And, yeah, with his, if he wants my opinion on something to wear, I'm literally thinking to myself, like, what do you think he wants you to say? As opposed to, like, what I literally think looks better. Because, and I always know as soon as I say, like, let's say there's 2 belts, I'll say this one. He's like, but why not the other one?
Dude, he is me, I am him.
You guys are very similar. I even noticed, like, right now, like, when Alex was setting up and you're like, how's my light? And he's like, can you hold on? That is so Asian. I'm like, can you not see me? Like, I'm doing 8 things. Like,
no, and I think we had this conversation, too, where it's like, I'll be hanging out in the living room and I'm like, watching my Real Housewives, or I'm doing what I want to do, right? But then I'm done doing what I want to do and I'm ready to hang out with my husband, right? So I'll like charge into the room and he'll be doing his own thing and I'm like, hello, do you not even want to hang out with me? Like, what are you doing? And he's like, Lan, you've been watching your Real Housewives by yourself for 2 hours. And so then I went over here and I'm doing my own thing and I'm like, okay, but I'm ready to hang out now. So drop everything that you're doing and hang out with me. Literally,
story of my life, Leanne. You guys, I swear, like, same relationship, but like,
reverse.
Yeah, reverse.
Yeah.
Like, yesterday, I swear, it was football Sunday, of course, you know, so he's downstairs watching football, and as soon as he's done, it's like he just wants to hang out, but like I'm already balls deep in whatever activity I had to get myself going to like let him watch his football, and now he wants to hang out. On top of that, this is the best, when he feels like eating and he has to switch floors. I am expected to switch floors with him. When he
wait, but explain the layout to the listeners, because this is hilarious.
Well, it's a 3-story townhouse. So let's say I'm on the 3rd floor watching TV and he's on the 2nd floor watching TV or whatever. Whenever he wants to like come up, oh no, that's what it is too. He has his little office in his room. So if he has to do schoolwork, he wants to come upstairs. And I'm like, are you kidding me? So I have to set up downstairs. 2 hours go by or whatever. He's hungry. Guess what?
You have to like re-switch?
Switch again. And he expects it.
What? No, that is kind of, but why can't you both be in the same area? Like,
I don't want to watch football.
Oh.
You think I'm going to waste my Sunday on like all these little noises? Oh no.
Only the Dolphins
Maybe
game,
on mute. I don't know. I feel like it's too much noise.
I love football. Wait, that's fucking hilarious. So you're just like fucking musical chairs.
It's literally the Olympics.
At least you're getting like a little butt workout going up and down your stairs.
I hope so. I'm getting my steps in, that's for sure.
That's fucking hilarious. That's hilarious.
You know what though? What's so funny that I noticed on my way over, I was running a little late. So do you ever notice that like when you're late or like you're just getting out of your house, whatever, let's just say it's just not, the day is not going the way it's going.
Yeah.
All of a sudden you feel like every pedestrian has a death wish and they want to get run over. Like, no joke. Oh my gosh. Actually, speaking of, did I tell the story about that homeless man in the wheelchair in the middle of the street?
No, but I feel like I know who you're talking about. Dude, he's the one in front, like on Broward?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
You're lying to me.
No, I swear to God, I have seen
That's where he was. And then 4 hours later, I come back and he's still in the middle of the road.
Okay, so explain. So there's this homeless guy. Explain.
So there's this homeless guy. Basically, I'm leaving Fort Lauderdale, and he's just in the middle of the road, and it's a really busy intersection. Yeah. So every single car is just trying to, you know, be polite and go around him, and we're all working with each other, you know, communal effort to not run this guy over.
I'm done.
4 hours go by. I'm like in another city. I come back home, and he's in the same exact spot, and everybody's carefully going around him again. And I'm like, these people think he just got there. He's been there for 4 hours fucking shit up. He's gonna cause an accident. And it's like, so I called the cops and I'm like, yeah,
you did?
Someone needs to wheel him off of this primary road.
Yeah, because that's insane. I mean, he's obviously doing that so someone can hit him so he can get money.
Yeah, well, you know what? Someone else is going to have a chopped off leg soon, too.
There's going to be two of them on the street.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, but basically, yeah, no, you know, when you're in a rush, it's just so different than like when you're just like, it's just a nice day. The birds are chirping. Go ahead. You know, people are cutting you off and you're like, go ahead. You know, it's
like,
just
I don't care.
It's a chill moment.
Oh, you're a little grandma in a walker. You take your time.
You're
like, let me get out and help you, like cross the road.
Legit, you give her a piggyback ride across.
I am the same way. Like, you're listening to this like music, and you're just like, please, no, please. Stop.
It's just different because
it's different.
Isn't it funny how like you feel like the world changed when in reality it's just you?
Yeah, no,
it's just your mentality.
It's just my mental
like,
state.
What the fuck is wrong with everyone today? And in reality, it's like, what is wrong with you, honey? What is wrong with you today?
A lot.
Relax.
A lot. There's a lot wrong.
I don't want to talk about it because I'm gonna cry.
A lot. Oh my God. Wait, on this topic too, like, what is wrong with you? I noticed I was doing this the other day, and I feel like I don't normally do this, but I'm someone who I feel like has a pretty good poker face. The other day, someone was saying something, and like my fucking rude ass was making a fucking face the entire time.
No, you weren't.
Yes. I was like, literally, like, I was just like, and I didn't even realize I was doing it, and then I realized, I'm like, oh my God.
Like, were you just staring at them like, what
like,
are you
such
saying?
A bitch, dude. Like, such a bitch face. And I'm like, dude, that's so mean. And
that
so, like, now I have to be aware of my face.
Yeah. One more thing
to be aware of.
List.
Yeah. Like, control yourself.
Literally. That's so funny. No, I feel like, I don't know. In general, I surprise myself very much with my poker face. Mm-hmm. And it's just the fact that, like, I'm just very polite and nice all the time to everyone.
Yeah.
It's bizarre.
Yeah, no, that's...
Even if it's so weird, too, because I was telling my mom this. I'm like, because I was having like the shittiest day the other day, and I just felt, you know, my mom's just like my go-to, and I'm like, it's just so bizarre how like people still like tell me like, oh my God, you're so sweet and whatever, when in reality I'm like, I hate myself right now, you know?
Yeah.
Did you ever feel that way?
Yes.
But then there's so many people out there that are just mean. And
For no reason.
And I'm telling my mom, like, how does that make sense? Like, all these people, like, even when I'm having a bad day, I'm still, like, able to, like, people think I'm, like, so happy.
No, so true. Or, like, if someone, yeah, no, that's so true. I feel like people always be like, oh, my God, you're so sweet and you're so calm. Like, and I'm like, if you really fucking knew the real me.
But do you know what that is? And that's actually, like, it's very good that we're able to do that. You know, that shows strength in itself. Because it's also keeping up. Like, I think on a subconscious level, we have to keep up with those roles of being presented as, like, kind and X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
And I think that we don't want to show people our issues or our problems.
Yeah.
You know, we want to come off as, like, strong and, like, well put together, even if our world is falling apart.
Yeah.
I've noticed that.
1000% that fucking person.
Yeah, when you meet someone that, like, maybe has a bad attitude, you are already thinking, like, wow, their life, like, the poor person. I have sympathy for them. Like, I'm just like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, poor person. But it's like, I think that's why we choose to show ourselves in the world as, like, a certain...
1000%. And I actually had a friend call me out on that once when she knew I wasn't doing well, but I was like, no, everything's good. Everything's great. And she was like, Leanne, I know you. Like, everything's not great. Can you just be for real? And I'm like, okay, like, my life is falling apart.
I love it. That's good, though. That's awesome.
Yeah. Okay, do we want to get into Real Housewives of Salt Lake City?
Wait, what about the toxics?
Oh, did you have any more toxic traits? Wait, what? These were my toxic traits.
Oh, yeah, I do.
Yeah, okay, go for it.
I didn't know you said toxic trait.
Did I say that? Oh my God, I don't know. I'm
That's
losing
okay.
my mind. It's okay.
So toxic traits, I mean, obviously we have like a million, but a random one that I feel like I do every single time. I don't know what it is inside of me that possesses me to have to do this to every single person that I dislike. But if I dislike someone, or like if I just like meet someone, they rub me the wrong way, immediately my brain starts researching in its own head, like a memory, like file of cartoons that they look like. I do this every time, and you know it.
You do this, and you are always like, doesn't this person look like,
No, I'm like, oh, okay, shut up, Big Bird. And I'll like send you like the picture of Big Bird, like a side by side. And they're identical, by the way. I am always on point.
No,
and I will not stop. It'll be like that like random little demon in Hercules. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, look at them, they're twins.
Dude,
but
you do
if I don't like you, just know that you have a character.
Stop.
That
Wait, I love that though. But you do, you're always, and I'm like, wait, I never thought of that, but that's so true.
Always. It's the most bizarre thing, but I've done that like my whole life.
That's actually probably the nicest form of like an FU, because it's so much nicer than to just like bitch someone out to their face if you don't like them. It's like, you know what? I'm doing the nice thing and I'm associating you with an ugly cartoon character.
It's fine.
It's a classy thing to do.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I'm taking the high road.
Yeah, you're taking the high road. It's so mature of you. So fucking mature of you. I love that. Yeah, that's growth.
Growth, baby.
Hashtag, we're all about hashtag growth here.
No, but we've ran through them all. Like, I can even think about, like, oh my God, what's the one in the dinosaurs? The little baby.
Littlefoot?
Oh my gosh.
The dinosaurs. Littlefoot? Oh my God, do you remember Littlefoot? Is that?
Oh my, no, but I had one that looked like, Ducky.
Ducky!
There's a girl that looks like Ducky.
I feel like I wouldn't mind looking like Ducky.
Well... I don't choose it for the positive looks of Ducky, okay? That's not why I'm choosing it.
I wouldn't mind looking like Ducky.
Baby Sinclair.
Baby Sinclair?
You don't know Baby Sinclair?
I don't
from the
think
dinosaurs?
So. Maybe if I saw a picture.
The one with like the big eyes, and it's like, not the baby, or not the mama.
Wait, I feel like I need to see a picture.
I'm a baby, gotta love me.
No, I don't know why I don't know that.
Do you know?
No.
Baby Sinclair. You guys had no childhood.
No, I had a childhood.
It's been decided.
No, my childhood was amazing. Wait, no.
I think that's part of it. The fact that like my brother and I have just seen like everything, like, you know, like, so I just.
No, I have too, but I don't know why I've never seen that.
I feel like if I showed you might.
But maybe like the picture. Wait, that's so funny though. Yeah. I love that. I love that. Any other toxic traits? I'm trying to think if I had.
I mean,
I feel like I thought of some, and now. Oh my God. We both do this. We think we're talking, but we're actually screaming. Like at a restaurant?
Shit, I didn't know I do that.
What? Dude, we scream. And the restaurant is like so quiet. We'll be out and it's like, I think, and I do this like just on one-on-one dinners with my husband. He's like, why are you yelling?
Yeah.
And I'm like, Dude, this is my baseline talking voice. I'm like, so yeah, how was your day today? Everyone at the restaurant's like looking at me. No, we scream.
It happens 24/7 for me. I'm
scream.
lying. I do. No, literally, even at my job, I'm like going in where like the patient's sleeping because we're gonna like pass them over like after surgery to the stretcher, and I'm like going in there and I'm like, and the anesthesiologist is just like, shh. I don't even notice I'm like talking loud.
You're like, bro, I am whispering.
It's just a party in my head. Okay?
I know. We're just Latinas.
I feel a toxic trait also would just be for me in relationships, which, I mean, it works in my favor, but it is very toxic, I think. And it's just...
Is this about to be a therapy sesh?
It should.
Okay,
we should open that up, right?
Let's do it.
Yeah, so in my life, I feel like every guy that I've ever had like a relationship with, I have to know that they are absolutely obsessed with me.
Oh, you love that,
before I proceed, or else I have to drop them like a bad habit. And like, it's so wild because I don't like the chase. I don't. I need to be chased.
Yes.
I will not run away.
Yeah, no.
Well, actually, maybe if I don't like you back.
Yeah.
But I just need that reassurance. And I feel like it's toxic because obviously it comes from a place of insecurity or like needing that like affirmation. Like you should just on your own be like,
secure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But no. Well, granted, in relationships is what I'm referring to,
yes.
But I think it's good because you kind of just like weed out the bad seeds and you vet them out a little bit.
Seeds. Wait, and then like
who's gonna go the extra distance for
That's
you
true.
to show you that they like care? I don't know. I don't like to guess things.
No.
And I just know in my mind, I mean, life is what you make it, and you are what you think you are. So it's like, if you want to settle down for someone that's going to be half-assed about it, that's on you.
True.
But there's someone out there that will be obsessed with you.
That's so true.
But it's up to you whether or not you want to settle.
So then is it a toxic trait?
Yes.
Or are you doing good work? Or are you doing good work?
I think I'm happy with
Well,
it.
I guess maybe toxic because I know of like you and AJ when he wasn't giving you what you wanted in the beginning. Like, every other day you'd be like, Leanne, it's done.
You know
like it's
so
done.
Funny
and then
too.
2 days later he'd be like, no. He texts me again like, we're great. He's the sweetest.
Like
2
not
days
even,
later,
though.
Leanne, we're done. I can't take this. And it was like,
but see, and I was so upfront and honest with him, which I feel like most guys would get creeped out by, and you try to avoid that. But that's the game I'm not willing to play.
Right.
Like I'm literally, when AJ and I were talking and he was not up my ass and around the corner, I just told him that that is not what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
So even though he's an amazing person, it's not for me.
Wait, you know what my toxic trait is?
What?
I do this now in my marriage. And I'm like, if you're not serious about the marriage, like I will pack my bags and I will go.
It is never too
Are
late.
you even committed to me? Like the man is committed. He has a ring. Like he's full on committed.
The whole
I'm
nine.
like, I can't.
I love that. No, that's great though. But
You gotta keep it interesting and spicy.
yeah, it's
Keep
all
it
about that
spicy.
reassurance.
Keep it spicy.
Exactly.
Okay. Salt Lake. Let's do it. I'm liking this season. Right? Yeah.
Honestly, so far it's been good. I think that a lot of the characters are kind of blooming. I know you mentioned Angie.
Yes, I
And how
love
she's like
that.
sticking up for herself this season and everything. But if we get into like the newest episode, it kind of left off where the last one ended, where Whitney is being accused of white labeling.
Oh my god.
Like Chinese merchandise or something
Which,
from like
duh.
Alibaba.
Dude, it's a fucking carbon copy image. That's a little embarrassing. And I know that maybe she wasn't aware that this was happening, but you do better. Do research. Like, this is your company. That's your name on the line. Like, you gotta do better there.
It's definitely not a good look.
No.
I do love, though, a lot of the quotes being said, like Lisa. Okay, so she gets accused and, of course, immediately drops everything to call her private investigator, which is, I guess, like the cybersecurity guy.
Yeah.
And she's just like, Sean, I'm being accused of something I didn't do. I need you to go the distance on this. We need to go the distance. Call the police.
She goes,
the LA.
I need you, Sean, I need you to go the distance on this. Call the LA police and call the Salt Lake police. Like, first of all, why the LA police?
I love your Lisa voice. I can't. Wait, what was that? I think
she said, and then when she was like, I didn't fucking do it! I didn't do it, Whitney! I didn't do it! It wasn't me!
Why does it sound just like Lisa? It's so bizarre.
Dude, first of all, okay, but note to self, like, I feel like I need a cybersecurity guy. Like, next time one of my friends or anyone calls me, I'm gonna be like, go the distance. No, I'm gonna call my husband next time and be like, Alexander, Valerie is saying this about me. Go the distance. He's gonna be like, shut the fuck up. Like, what?
What does that mean? No, literally,
So
I want to
good.
incorporate that into my everyday. Like, if
I love
AJ's just
that.
like, hey, are you having your second cup of coffee? I'm going to be like, I'm going the distance today. Just everything has to be going the distance.
I love that.
I felt like, okay, obvious. I don't know what to believe. I do feel like Lisa might have. I don't know. But either way, the whole husbands thing was kind of like the topic of conversation because obviously these are two very nice men, Justin and John. Like, they're so sweet.
Two sweetest
And here they
ones.
are about to get into like a brawl at this like little happy hour gathering.
That was so unnecessary. Like, I will say that I don't think Lisa should have charged up there all hot and heavy. Like, your wife's a fucking liar. Like, I don't know how you fucking deal with that. Like, that's a little uncalled for. But I don't like that Justin took kind of that step towards her to make it feel like, I don't know, to me, when a man does that to someone, it's like an intimidation tactic. And it kind of, that made me uneasy. So I understand why Lisa felt as if she was owed an apology in that sense, because if he would have just been like, listen, my wife's not a liar, don't say that, she wouldn't do that. But the step and kind of like this movement that he took towards her, I don't like that. I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't know if he owes her an apology, to be honest, because I just feel like this is all supercharged. Like, this isn't just happening like their first altercation and then the husbands are getting involved. It's like, this is pillow talk shit.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to sleep with their husbands talking shit about the other one.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine all the stuff that Whitney has said to her husband
my gosh.
about Lisa?
Yes.
You know, so when this goes down and Lisa's like, your wife's a fucking liar.
It's a build up.
Yeah, it's like, okay, why are you calling, you know what I mean?
Like,
I've
enough
had
is enough.
enough of this. Like, this is, and now you're calling a wife a liar, like, right to my face,
Yeah.
you know? Do I agree with what he did? Absolutely not. I don't think a man should ever, like, I think that, you know, brush it off. They're like sorority girls. You know what I mean? Like, leave them alone.
Let the women fight it out.
Yes, but I also didn't think that it was okay for John to kind of like that second time around to like put his hand on Justin. I don't know. But hopefully they can work it out, or
I hope
go
so
their
too,
separate
because they're so
ways.
sweet and they don't need to be involved in this bullshit drama. Like, that's between them.
Yeah.
That's between Whitney
You know
and Lisa.
what's so crazy though that I just
What?
heard
What?
about Whitney? And
Oh,
I'm
God.
hoping it's not true.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, and I'm not saying it is. This is
Okay.
just hearsay over here for entertainment purposes only.
Don't come for us. Don't sue us.
So I hear that her and her husband have this company. I'm not sure if when I heard this, it was like the Prism jewelry that turned into something called Soul People, or if it's just a whole nother company.
Okay.
I didn't look into what Soul People is about. I guess it's just SOL People.
Yes,
whatever.
soul people.
But moral of the story is, I guess it's an MLM.
Ooh.
Someone that joined is online basically trashing it and just like basically just making some fraudulent claims on it. I don't know the validity of all this, but if it's true, I just feel like really like, were you taking notes from Jen Shaw here? Like, why are we trying to be all fraudulent?
That's what I was going to say. Are you the next Jen Shaw?
I just don't understand people that
mean-
can, and not to say, I mean, you know what I mean? MLMs are totally legal and everything, but the way I guess this person was like making it seem was just a very sketchy. Like more so Ponzi scheme.
I mean, the whole already with the Alibaba thing is sketchy, and now like I could kind of see it
Yes.
maybe being like,
For sure.
It already started off sketchy, and now if someone's saying she's running an MLM,
If the
I don't know if
Alibaba
it's
thing
true.
didn't happen, I feel like I could brush this one off
yeah,
and
I'd
be
be like, oh please, maybe, who knows?
Who knows?
But now my eyebrows are raised. I'm looking at you. I'm side eyeing you a little bit.
Scratching my head a little
I
bit
don't
here.
know. I don't know if that's gonna get brought up this season, or maybe it'll get brought up at the reunion. I don't know. They probably have stopped filming, but that's interesting, and that would be. I mean, geez, and
Detrimental, honestly.
detrimental.
to her company and
yeah.
like just her validity and
Yeah.
everything. Like just
Oh my gosh, no, that would be awful. And wait, also back to Angie, because we hit on Angie for a second. Like we said, I love that she's standing up for herself.
Yes.
To Lisa, because like, listen, I'm a Lisa stan. I'm a Baby Gorgeous stan. Like I love me a Lisa Barlow. But Lisa likes friends who are up her asshole. That's just fact, and who are yes girls. And I love that Angie is sticking up for herself this season. I just love it.
especially since she already has a yes girl up her ass, and it's Heather.
Bro, what? We need to
wanna
talk about
yes.
that.
So the whole thing with Heather, I don't know. I feel like Heather throughout the seasons has changed a lot. And I did like her in the beginning because I feel like even though it was toxic loyalty towards Jen, I kind of admired that in a sense. But as this goes on and now she's doing the same thing with Lisa, it's kind of like, girl, get a fucking personality. Like, I'm sorry, but speak for yourself. Like that one, who was the one that was, I don't know if it was, no, was it Bronwyn? Someone asked her, she's just like, why are you doing this? Like, are you trying to prove your loyalty to Lisa? And she's like, yes, I
think it was Whitney. No? Was it Whitney or Bronwyn?
Maybe Whitney.
It was one of them. But I think it's so weird. It's giving like pick me girl vibes.
For
it's
sure.
giving insecurity. But if you think about it, ever since season 1 when Lisa called her like a good time girl and she was so upset about that, which it's like normally like, why the fuck do you care? Yeah, I am a fucking good time girl. If anything, I see that as a compliment. Fuck yeah. Woo, I was partying, having a good time in college. But I feel like it rubbed her the wrong way and she took it so personally because she wants to be close to Lisa. She's always wanted to be close to Lisa ever since season 1. She got what she wanted. She's the reason that Lisa and Whitney are not close anymore and have this rift because I feel like she was in Lisa's ear and just like, you know, talking shit and stuff. And this is what she's wanted. She's wanted Lisa all to her fucking self.
Exactly. And even when Angie says it, you know, Angie's gone to school with her for so long and she says that Heather has always wanted to sit at the cool kids table. And I feel like that's where that whole dynamic goes with Heather and Bronwyn. Bronwyn, who I love this season.
Obsessed
and even
with her.
Husband, like how cute are they? They're
cute.
little, I don't know, I feel like they have like good banter, good talk. Like he's very witty and funny and so is she. Like with her outfits when she like dresses up in all these different costumes to pick him up from the airport. I thought that was so cute. But the whole dynamic that is going on between Bronwyn and Heather, where Heather, I just feel like is perpetually mean to Bronwyn for no actual reason. It doesn't feel like, but I think that Lisa just really loves Bronwyn in her own way, like kind of admires her, not just is friends with her, because I feel like Lisa is just friends with Heather. It's not like she looks at Heather and it's like, oh my God, like I admire you, nothing like that. But Bronwyn, you know, she's different. She's her own person. And I feel like that bothers Heather. Like Heather feels a competition going on with Bronwyn. And she's competing with herself because Bronwyn's trying to make peace with this girl.
Right. Bronwyn is trying to make peace with her.
Trying to apologize. And then Heather can't even take accountability for
But
anything.
Heather can never take accountability. It's just what like Mary always okay, also fucking love Mary this season. This is Mary's redemption season. And I love that Mary called Heather out and was like, girl, your hands are always messy. You are the one putting in little rumors and plotting little seeds everywhere. You watch everyone else fight and you're like, oh no, well, I didn't say that. She said that. How she got mad at Bronwyn for telling Angie what about Lisa being like insinuating that Lisa was not a good mom because she lets her
the video game.
Okay, but Heather did the same thing and told Lisa what Angie said. So it's like, you both are playing telephone here. Why are you doing God's work and the good thing by telling Lisa, but Bronwyn is the fucking devil for doing the same thing you're doing? Like, what the hell are you talking about?
No, it really is so silly.
She is Delulu. But yeah, I don't know. I am kind of here for the girls and Bronwyn coming for Heather this season because I feel like it's about time. She's always like behind the scenes meddling, and now it's about time. But yeah.
Also with Mary, just really quickly, how funny was it that after Lisa and Whitney get into this brawl, she makes them hold hands while she gives a prayer? She's like, you hold hands, it's important. And they hold hands and they're like hating each other.
Dude,
they're like,
Mary this season, I love that she's clocked in. It's weird. It's such a 180. Last season, she couldn't even be bothered to open her mouth, go to an event, make a statement. And this season, she's like this new person. She's calling people out on her shit. I love her and Angie's friendship. I think they're so cute. They're hilarious. I love them. Who knew that Mary Cosby would be the MVP of this season? I love it.
She's great.
Anything else on Salt Lake?
I think that's it.
Okay, because I actually saw. So you know how Channing Tatum and Zoe Kravitz broke up last week? Okay. So I just saw something this morning that I guess a couple days ago after Channing and Zoe's breakup was announced, Steve Kazi, is that Jenna Dewan's husband, Steve Kazi?
I don't know his name, but she is, that he like,
yes. Oh my God, yes. Is it Steve Kazi? Wait, I want to get his name. I need to get his name right because if I'm talking about this.
I didn't see the video, but I saw the headline.
Okay, yes, okay. So I saw that Jenna Dewan's husband, fiance, I don't know if they're married or not, whatever, boyfriend, Steve Kazi posted on his story a bunch of in caps, like the whole page, ha 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 ha. Like the whole thing after Channing Tatum and Zoe Kravitz's breakup was announced. And so people are like,
what?
Weird, right? So then he ends up posting another story that it was about something else that he saw on TikTok, like this TikTok trend or something, trying to cover up for it because people were calling him out and basically saying that's so rude that you're capitalizing or you're kind of making fun of their breakup, their engagement. The timing is weird.
Insensitive. Like
it's so insensitive. And then it comes out that at some point during 21 Jump Street, so do you remember that movie that Channing Tatum did with Jonah Hill? At that time, there was a leak. Their emails got leaked. Sony's emails got leaked. There was like a security breach, okay?
Oh, wow.
And one of the email chains was between Jonah Hill, Channing Tatum, and I think a bunch of other producers and just people that were working on the film. And they were talking about how well the movie did in the box office. And Channing Tatum responds to that, ha 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 ha, the same thing that Steve Kazi, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, that Steve put on his story. So people think he was kind of mocking Channing Tatum, which if that's true, that's kind of creepy and weird. What is going, I mean, I know that he probably has Jenna Dewan's back because I don't know the details of it, but Channing Tatum and Jenna, their divorce went on for a long time and it started getting messy. Do you remember that? I saw headlines on that. I didn't look into that, but it started getting kind of messy.
All of this has like, it's been such a long time. Like I remember when Channing Tatum was with Jessie J, the singer, for like a while.
Yeah.
And like even posted about her. So I just feel, I mean, clearly Steve did it on purpose because it's like when something like that happens, everyone knows like you're under a microscope. Like Jenna Dewan's under a microscope. So is her fiance, husband, whatever it is. So whatever you post is going to be overanalyzed. Exactly. And even if he didn't mean it, even if it's a coincidence, it's like, you know what you're doing here. Right. So you're obviously going to assume it is purpose,ful.
1,000%.
And it seems very purposeful.
It's so purposeful. I just thought that was weird. And if it is, icky, gross.
Because literally, there's a child involved.
That's what I'm saying.
It's like, you don't do that.
Don't do that. Don't take it public. Like, if you want to think that behind closed doors and laugh, even which is still fucked up, laugh at his breakup, that his engagement.
You're a grown-ass man,
that's
though.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
how were people petty back in the day without social media? Like, do you think he would, like, write, like, ha, 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 and, like
send letters out?
A carrier pigeon, like, give it to him in person? Like, how did they?
I don't know, but I just thought that was icky. I thought it was gross. I thought him trying to cover it up was like, honey, it's too late. It's out there, and we all know that there's a correlation now. Just weird.
It's not a good look.
It's not a good look. Not a good look.
But also, okay, random, but I just thought of the fact that Kim Kardashian, I saw her wearing, like, just recently, it was just this past weekend, I guess, an outfit, but I think it was the necklace she was wearing. It's like a big cross necklace, and it belonged to Princess Diana.
I'm sorry, what?
So she's wearing Princess Diana's mother freaking necklace. Okay, so first we have Marilyn Monroe, the icon's dress. Now we have Princess Di, her necklace. Like, what is next? Like, literal Mother Teresa's veil. Like, going down.
Stop. Don't even put that out. She's going to listen to this and she's going to know.
She's going to get ideas.
She's going to get ideas.
But why does she do that?
Why does she have that?
Like, why can't we leave things as they are, as someone's just possession, and like, who are you?
Is that on? Okay, first of all, that necklace should be passed down to Princess Diana's grandchildren. Okay? Why the fuck are they No. I want to talk about who the fuck who signed
off on this?
Who cleared this and said, yeah, let's give it to Kim Kardashian to wear. Why? I feel like that's no. That's
like
something that's very treasured. That's something that should be in a museum, shouldn't be touched. That is, I mean, Princess Diana is queen. Why?
No, it makes no sense to me, but yeah, that's why I wanted to bring.
No, I don't like that. I don't like, she needs to stop. She needs to stop.
Stop it, Kim.
Stop it, Kim. Okay.
So I guess that's it.
Love that. Yes. Until next time.
Those two girls.
Mwah. We did it at the same time.